Okay. There we are. Hey, everyone. There's a couple people on already. Let's see what's going on. Hey, good morning. Hi, everybody. I am so happy to be here with you. It's my favorite crafting season of the year. And all the Christmas things and cards and crafts and all the little crafty things around the house for the holidays and decorating Christmas trees. Just my favorite crafty time of the year. And I've already had some virtual classes, workshops that were pay for workshop with kits, and you could purchase it non-kits. But this one I wanted to do to share with all of you as just a time for us to craft together and to share some of my tips, tricks, and techniques for creating holiday tags that hopefully the recipient will keep for a long time. They'll reuse. They'll create a Christmas tree with tags, and it's something that you could do even with children, grandchildren, and just to have some family time and create some of your own holiday projects. So the important thing to remember in creating tags is just have fun. I'm going to take it to probably like the extreme level because I love to do lots of layers, lots of ephemera things, lots of fillers, but you don't have to do that. You can use the pretty paper, cut out a tag, put a ribbon on it, and just stamp on the back who it's to and who it's from. And that's fine because we need to make the holidays our own. And if you don't have time to do all that, then don't stress yourself out. So I'd rather sit with a cup of coffee than be stressed out. So this is, you do what you want to do. And if you're crafting along and you don't have I'm using today the Simple Stories Vintage Christmas Lodge Paper Collection. I fell in love with it way back several months ago. But if you don't have that, use what you've got. Shop your stash. I've got a beautiful collection from Pink Fresh that I purchased this year. I've got 49 in Market that's beautiful, but I have a whole closet full of stuff from several years ago. Pull out what you've got, use what you've got, shop your stash. Another great thing to do if you don't want to purchase anything and you don't have any ephemera, use die cuts, stamps, pretty paper, and die cut that out or fussy cut it and create your own ephemera and layer it up. You have to make it yours. So hopefully I'll share some tips and tricks today. Let me know. We'll kind of chat a little bit, but once I get going, I won't be able to interact a whole lot. And I'm so glad you're here. One thing before we get going, and look at this is my mess I've got going on. It is crazy in the craft room at this time of the year, but we are having a giveaway. So this will only be while we are live, So there will be a cutoff. If you are on here, say hi, leave me a comment. Right now, I don't see any chatting, but maybe I'm not seeing it. Say hi, let me know you're here. Tell me where you're from. Everybody chit chat while I'm busy. I hope I can see the chat. So let's see. I'm not sure if I can or not. So somebody leave me a comment and let me know because I'm not seeing any comments yet. I don't know what's going on or if you're commenting or not, let me know. Oh, I don't see any. I don't think there's any yet. So leave me a chat, say hi from the comments after we are finished today, not while we're on air, but leave me a comment while we're on air and someone's going to win a giveaway. So here's what we've got. You're going to get a Nashville Craft Retreat. If you don't know, I host the Nashville Craft Retreat. And this year was the very first one, 2022. So you're going to get a water tumbler and because I have fallen in love with Cocoa and Merino dies. You get, and I believe these are sold out right now. I will be using today the doily nesting dies. I had an extra set And so I'm giving a set of those away. This is fantastic. You're going to love it. And I had 2 extra packs of ephemera, so that I'll be using today. So you are going to get 1 of each of the packs of ephemera, the Coco and Reno doily nesting dies. And this is over a $20 value right here. And these are about $6 a piece, I think. So we've got like a value of like $50 on the giveaway. So that's what the giveaway is. I will be selecting 1 comment, 1 viewer randomly from anybody who leaves a comment while I'm live, and I'll do it right afterwards. And I do see 2 people have liked this already. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit the like button, follow, do all that to receive notifications when I do lives. I don't do lives on YouTube very often, but I thought it would be really good to share this to a wider audience than the normal Facebook. So let's get busy. I'm going to go ahead and pop this camera down, move my mouse out of the way, and once again, let me know. Somebody say something, chat away, because I don't see any comments and I want to make sure it's working correctly. Okay, so here's what we've got. And I do have notes, so if I refer to my notes, I'm trying to stay on track today. Let me know. Here's what we're using. This is the Simple Stories Vintage Christmas Lodge, and I will tell you, this is the 6x8 paper pad. This is my favorite. If I have a choice, oh, I didn't turn on chatting? My husband's here helping me. Oh, is it on now? Did you open it? Oh no. My husband says I didn't open up chatting publicly. Let me see. You guys give me just a second to see if I can figure out. I don't know if I can change things right now. We need to open up chat engage. Let's see. I don't know if I can open up. Give me just a second, everybody. Hold on 1 second so my husband can talk to me. Be patient, you guys. Okay. I wonder what's going on. Turn it off.
It's only you. Trying to do something.
This is why I did this all yesterday. Okay, you guys. I am so sorry because I don't do this very often, and I thought I was so prepared yesterday. I did everything ahead of time, had it all set up, but I guess I do not have chatting enabled. And my husband has to run our son somewhere. So right now, I apologize, my fault. Technical difficulties, I don't have the chat open. So I'm just going to start crafting. When he gets home from taking our son back, hopefully he can get the chat open. For right now, maybe it'll be less of a distraction, but I apologize. Hopefully we can get it open so that maybe keep your questions or write them down and then I can answer them later. But I'm just going to get going because we're already into this. So I apologize. Let's keep going. Simple Stories, simple or vintage Christmas lodge. And I will tell you, I love 6x8 paper packs because it really gives me a wide variety of things, choices, and what projects I'm going to create. If I'm creating a card, I could even create a slimline card. So it really, I like the options I have with a 6x8 paper pad versus, let's say, a 6x6. And then also, if you purchase scrapbook paper 12x12, you know, sometimes the patterns are so big that then you can't cut it down well to use on a different project. So I like that they take the large image and they scale it down onto this size paper. And this paper, it just won my heart because it does have all of the woodland kind of feel to it. And also I love the journaling cards, and we'll cut those apart. So when we go back, I want you to pull 2 of those pages out and we'll cut those out together. I love the plaids. It's kind of a larger gingham, but not quite as large as a buffalo, right? So look at these. Aren't those pretty? I love that. Those make good backgrounds. So look through your paper, see what appeals to you. I want you to make these tags what you want them to be. So we're using the paper. I love the enamel dots because you always have, coordinating extras. And then if you watched the Facebook Live the other night, you may not have. We kind of did some homework together. And when I get my ephemera, these are the 2 packs. These are the woodland bits and then the bits and pieces. And I like to sort my ephemera into like groupings. And so I have the tickets, the tags, the bigger pieces like the Santas that are the kind of more interesting focal points. We have the little sentiment banners and strips. We have the bigger sentiments. These woodland ones, aren't those pretty? Love those. Then we have the birds and all of the greenery and the Christmas trees. And I've sorted them all. And this is just a little tartlet tray. You could use a muffin pan, use whatever you've got, but it's easy to move in and out and keeps everything organized, and it's easier to sort. And I think your tags will go faster. So this is something I like to do ahead of time, is sorting by, like images. So real quick, before we get going, I'll show you what we're working on. This is a pretty tag. This is using the Cocoa and Reno dies. Let me show you. Let's make sure I'm talking about the things that I need to also. This is using the Cocoa and Reno nesting doily dies. If you don't have doilies, use circle dies. Cut circles. Just make nested circles. Use what you've got. Ovals, anything like that you could use. So there's one. That's the circle one. And this is the original one I created using just some circle dies that I had. But like I said, I fell in love with the Cocoa and Reno doily dies. So I had to get those. So I recreated it. So we've got that one. This is actually somewhat of a simple one, not too difficult. Here's another one, not too difficult. This is using those journaling cards. So you can be cutting those apart while I'm doing this because I will go pretty quickly. And this one, I believe I probably fussy cut this paper, and I'm not one to normally fussy cut much. So we might use a doily die instead. But that's an idea also. Don't forget fussy cutting. I have already gone ahead and cut out lots of tags in different colors. And I will tell you the colors that I have cut out in tags. First of all, this is a Simple Stories kind of basic 12 by 12 paper that looks like barnwood. I forget the name of it. I apologize. This is Nina Desert Storm cardstock. I love their Desert Storm as a good craft, and it's a good weight. I think this is only 80 pound. It's difficult to find the 100 pound. And then these papers, I believe, I know this green is called, let me tell you the name of it so you know, it's Evergreen. It's from Concord and Ninth. They have beautiful papers. Spellbinders has beautiful cardstock. And I believe both of these are from Gina K. And this red is called Red Velvet. And this is Cilantro. So these are great coordinating colors from cardstock that I owned. But the greens do look good because they're a little bit of a yellow green. So that's why this Cilantro looks really good. So I've gone ahead and cut out some basic colors and tags using the dies that I used, and I put these on my list on my blog. I think I may have connected it on there. If not, I will later in the links. This tag set from Altenew is called Terrific Tags Dies. This is a fantastic set of dies because you have 3 in different sizes. Let me pull these out of the basic tag style. 3 sizes. Then you have this one that's like a banner or a fishtail tag in 3 sizes. Love that. And then this is what might be my favorite thing in this die set. You have these little sentiment strips that are fantastic to layer up, and you can use all different sizes on your tags. And that's what I love about this. So I'll be using this set, but use what you've got. There are tons of die sets out there. Use what you've got. I can't get enough of tags, so I probably buy almost every set that I see. But we'll be using this one. And let me make sure I have it handy. I'm going to put it back on my die cutter. And I've got my Vagabond pulled over so I can die cut there, but I'll also get my cutters out that we'll use. And so let's see, we've talked about paper, enamel dots, ephemera, our tags, and then also one of my favorite things in creating tags is to, like I said, I use dies and I'll cut foliage and vellum, but also this is a great set of fishtail flags from My Favorite Things. And I cut lots of different sizes in fishtail flags, and we can trim them down to whatever size we need, but these are great layering pieces. So I've already got some of those cut. And then also, this is an Altenew layered snowflakes tag die set that just adds some extra fun ephemera. If you think the 2 ephemera packs are not enough, you can layer these up and do all kinds of things with those. So that was just a little extra something I started playing with. Finally, I do have our doilies cut and ready to go. But this is a new to me set of rosette dies from Coco and Reno that I just got, and I was playing with them yesterday. And I will tell you, look how cute this rosette is going to be. Now, here's the thing. It takes 2 die cuts to put together, and I have taped them, but what works best is getting your glue gun out. And I was too lazy to climb up on the shelf and get my glue gun out. But you cut the different pieces, and then look how adorable, and the glue gun will hold it so then it won't flip-flop around later on. But look how cute that rosette is. I am a little bit obsessed. I think it'll make fantastic tags. I mean, look, if we put that on a tag, let's see. Look, if we layered this up, how cute would that rosette be? And that's why I had to get that cut just playing around yesterday to show you, like, rosette dies and doily dies. They're fantastic. So that's a company called Coco and Reno that's new to me, and I love it. My friend Andrea introduced me to that company, and I'm a little obsessed. So those are some things that I've already got cut and ready to go. Let's put our samples aside for a second, and let's talk about just a few other little things that you need. Of course, lots of ribbons, lots of ribbons. The other day in the homework Facebook Live that I did, we colored up a few extra doodads just for fun. Betsy from the Greetery released a whole fantastic Christmas release for tags and things like that for packaging the other day. And one thing that she did that I thought was so cute and hadn't thought about it to add to your tags is she just used wooden beads, and hers were very organic. She didn't color hers, very natural, and she strung them for the top of the tag. So imagine, these are already done, but we'll add it to one later on. Look how cute that would be to add wooden beads, especially if you're working with little ones and working with fine motor skills on Christmas crafts. Stringing beads is a fantastic fine motor skill. I used to be a teacher and I taught kindergarten, and they really need those fine motor skills. So this is a fun craft. Get them painted. I shared how to do that in the Facebook Live real easy. And I think those little beads, you can get a whole pack from Amazon, all different sizes in natural wood color for like $10. So we did those, and then we created our own. Look at these beautiful flat back pearls. We created these with alcohol ink the other night. So we've got all of those, these beautiful colors, if we want to use some of these. So gather those up. I also love to use grommets. Let me close this up. So this is just like a little mini muffin pan, and I ordered these from Amazon to keep little things when I'm working on them organized, just because I couldn't find anything else I liked. I love the We Are Memory Keeper grommets. And the funny thing is I think people back in the day, years ago, everybody used a grommet for everything. And then it kind of gets pushed to the back of the drawer and everybody forgets. But if you're a scrapbooker, you probably use these all the time. I love these bigger ones. So we'll be using these today. I love these. You can order these on Amazon also, all different colors. And I think these are fantastic for tags. I use them on almost all my tags. Look how pretty and finished that looks when you add that big grommet. So you'll need your crocodile, you need your grommets. You can use corner punches, all kinds of things. And then finally, inking, if you want to ink the edges, I just pulled out quickly. You could use hickory smoke from Tim Holtz. Candied apple was a little bit of a bright red. I might pull out my Catherine Pooler rouge, and that might work better. Peeled paint, vintage photo, black soot, great ink blending colors for the edges of tags. I think it gives it a kind of finished, or especially if you want to create a vintage look. Those are good colors to use. So you need ribbons. Let me see. Floss makes great, toppers for tags, things like that. I think I've gotten all of the things. Okay, so we've sorted our ephemera. Now, let's look at, let me move some of my stuff out of the way. The first thing I recommend doing after you've got all of your kind of like prep work done, kind of reminds me of cooking, is really take a look at your ephemera. And of course, the first place we want to start is with what inspires us most. So when I look at this, obviously the Santa Claus. I love all of these Santa Claus, and I like that they come in different sizes. So these are what I think of as your focal point, obviously. It's what your eye is going to be drawn to, and it's what appeals to me the most. Also, we've got the large Christmas trees, right? And then we have this little moose and this beautiful deer, the stag. So these can be focal points also. Finally, we have these big sentiments, and there were 3 of them. So these could be a focal point in and of themselves, especially if you're really trying to stretch your ephemera and get as many tags out of it as possible. But they can also, obviously, a sentiment can layer with your bigger focal point. So finally, and then you have some of these bigger flowers and the cardinal and stuff too. So lots of layers on my tags. And I begin with looking at what appeals to me and where I want to begin. And when I'm layering, this is kind of the trick that I use. And if you're a gardener, you'll get what I'm saying, because I love to create my own large flower pots. And what the landscape or the floral artists tell you to do is you have a thriller. And that's normally in a flower pot, the tall, great big kind of showy piece that's in the middle of your pot. So for me, your focal point is your thriller. We're going to think about that. It's your thriller. It's what the eye is going to be drawn to. So my thriller is going to be my, let's say, my Santa Claus or my Christmas tree or my stack. And then so that's the tall thing in the middle. And then around it that kind of grows up a little bit and fills in the middle is called the filler. You have a thriller, a filler, and then you have a spiller. And that's what drapes over the side and spills over. And that's what creates those magnificent flower pots. And it's funny because it really relates to my tags. We have a thriller, and then what might be your filler is all of your layers and tickets and tags and things that would layer behind your focal point. Tickets, smaller layering pieces like this Christmas tree. And then your spiller, I think of as all the extra greenery. It's going to spill off the side. It's going to spill over the front. You add it to the front, you add it behind, and it spills off the tag. And it's what really kind of pulls the eye into the focal point. And fillers help guide your eye to the focal point as well. And they fill in kind of extra space. So that's the way I think of it. Thriller, filler, and spiller. And then you add your sentiment also. And that can go either way, either as a kind of filler or your thriller. Does that make sense? Kind of did in my mind, so I hope it does to yours too. So let's start with this card. It'll make it kind of easy. So here's what we're going to do. The first thing is we need to pull our paper pad out, and we're going to look for the two plaids. I believe there's a black one and a green one like this. Let's go ahead and pull those out, and we're going to cut one die. You're going to use your die and go ahead and cut that one out. And you know, if I were doing this on my own, I would go step by step, or I would not go step by step. I would cut several out at once and then play with what works for me. But we're going to go ahead and use this one. So that's this one. It looks like this on the front. I'm going to cut one of the large tags out. I'm going to move my snowflakes over. They got lost. So go ahead and pull your die out, the large one, and get that cut. And I apologize that I'm turning my back to you. It's just easier for me. And I like to save my paper, and I also look at the design on the back, and I know that I might want to use these trees for something else. So I will position my die at the top here. I'm sure you guys know that. And I love that these papers fit perfectly on like your 6x6 die machine. And I just set that paper aside so it's ready to go, or I'll put it back in my book so I don't forget it. But since I have another page in there, I'm not worried. So we need that. And then I have used, and you need to use what you've got. There's a coordinating cardstock pack that goes with that. And there's a green color in there. So I've used that. And then this is one of those journaling cards. So go through there. Let's go ahead and pull those out. Here we go. There he is. He's that one. And that one. So let's pull those out. And go ahead and cut these apart. And I'll use my little trimmer right on camera. Normally I have a big rototrim. It's my favorite. I adore it. But I don't want to get up and leave camera. So set your tag aside, get your trimmer out, and let's get these papers trimmed. And I do like this one because it's got the little wire and you can trim it right down the middle. The problem with these is that the blade, if you cut a lot of paper, you guys know the blade gets dull pretty quickly. But it is nice and quick sitting right here at your desk. I do love the wire's the best on this Fiskars. I'm going to trim all of these up while we're right here, just to make it easy. And this Santa is the one that we need. And then I'm going to, I have another one that I want to use. I might even use, just because we need a layering piece. And let's say you don't have the other green. Look, I'm going to use this one. You could save this and use it for something else, but just to make it easy for this tag today, I only need is a green piece like this, so I'm going to use this journaling card. So we need to cut him down a little bit smaller. We want him a little bit smaller than the tag. And the tag, let's measure it so we know. This tag is about almost 2.5. It's about 2 3/8. So 2.5. So we need our journaling card. This one I have measured at, oh, this one's at about 2 1/4. So let's trim him down. You see where I've got it there. So we want him at about 2 1/4. And we want to see the big, let's turn it this way. And then we'll do the other one the same thing. And then we can trim it down from there and see how tall we want it. And I could have been careful and moved on each side, but we're just using it as a layering piece like that, remember? So we've got those two pieces, and I think we'll probably, you can trim them or you can leave them hanging over. We'll trim them just a little bit. And you could even die cut these as a tag to layer behind. It depends on what you want. So this is 4 inches. Let's cut about a 1/2 inch off. And this one, yeah, I'll go ahead and do this one too, because it will be hidden behind all of our other layers. Now, one thing that I do like to do is to ink them just a little bit. And it doesn't matter what color you use. I'll probably use Vintage Photo for this. I have a stencil mat that I like to do a lot of my ink blending on. So that's what I'm grabbing here, just to keep my workspace clean. And I'm going to clean this off because obviously I was ink blending with some reds, and I do not want to get that. I don't want to get my fingers inky and then smear something on my pretty paper. Okay. So I'm going to use a little bit of Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. Now this is where I have to tell you, I think it would be really pretty to chomp those corners or round them. It just depends on what kind of look you're going for. Just for making it quickly today, I'm not going to do that. And the other thing is, you can use a blending brush. Use what you've got. I like to even just use the ink pad. Another tip I've got is you could, I kind of like the little foamy brushes even better for this, even though I use a blending brush for everything else now. You can add as much or as little as you want. I'll zoom in. I just like to have a little bit of that finished edge. The little foam kind of gives you a little bit more control, or I'll show you, you can take it right on the ink pad and then you don't really have much on your paper. If you're a scrapbooker, you probably already do this also. I like to just take the paper and I'll even just run it right along my ink pad. And what happens is, when you cut your paper, now you can't see it because we've already inked it, but there's that white edge because it's not solid color, obviously. So it gives it more of a finished look when you ink the edges of your paper. You just have to be careful because it stays wet for a second and you don't want to transfer that ink anywhere. So what we're going to do then is layer these just like this so that you can see the 2 layers. Now, once again, I would probably use some foam tape. This is where we're going to start doing more layers than even what I did in my samples. I like lots and lots of layers. So whereas this one, I didn't do that. And you don't have to take the time if you don't have the time. I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to that just to give it a little bit more pizzazz. I create my own foam tape. Hold on, my husband's back. He might try to work on it for me. Oh, he says he knows how to change it. That would be fantastic. Thank you. Okay. My husband says, just so you know, for a moment, I'm going to mute the microphone, and then he's going to come in and fix something. I'm going to try to keep crafting. So other than, don't worry if you don't hear any sound, we are going to be working on it from our end so that you can be able to comment. And so don't panic if you don't hear anything for a moment, okay? Going radio silence for just a moment. We're trying to fix the comments. Okay, we are back. And I apologize. My fault in setting it up yesterday. I didn't do something and we don't know how to fix it now. So there won't be any comments. What we'll do is we'll do the giveaway in a different way. And I'll kind of figure that out while we're going. So let's just keep going. And here's what I've decided to do. So we've got, this is, you know, as you do it, you start getting better and better. And I will be honest, layering up and the scrapbooking ends of things are not my normal go-to. So whereas I love the look and I love what all of those gurus do, I actually had to work at it a little bit to get a little bit better. So now I'm kind of feeling a little frisky. And here's the other thing. Notice this Santa is the same as this one. And I'm going to even pop him up over top of the other one to give it even that much more dimension on there. Or you could stick him on. You can do what you want to do. As far as I'm concerned, like you just, the more you have, the better it looks. So I'm going to go with it. If you don't like that and you think it's way too much, don't do it. Something else you could do. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky because you have the white outline. You could ink this. Sometimes I don't know if I like it, and sometimes, you know, I just can't decide. For right now, let's ink it a little bit and see what we think. Sometimes, honestly, I do think it just it does make it look a little vintage, but sometimes I almost think it just makes it look kind of dirty. I don't know. You decide. It's not bad. That does make it look vintage. I'm going to pop him right over the other one, and he doesn't fit perfectly, so don't stress about that. We're just adding some more interest there, right? And then you notice that's my thriller, and really this Santa is kind of part of it. But then we need the filler. So we've got a ticket, and we've got the Christmas tree. So just, you know, add in whatever you think looks good. I'm going to add a ticket here, and then we'll add the Christmas tree. And I kind of have the tree a little bit at an angle because my Santa's right there. Let's turn I like to look at the tag straight up and down also. Our Santa's a little bit at an angle. We're going to turn our tree a little bit the other way, and then also layer this tag right here, okay, in between. See what I'm doing? So, oh, Jackie's on. Thank you, Ricardo. He fixed it. We now can have comments. So make sure you say hi. If we, you know, Jackie and Elizabeth we're familiar with, say where you're from. For all the people maybe around the world who might watch it at some point, say hi. I'm going to layer this ticket kind of behind my Santa because the tree is going to cover that up, and it just makes it easy. It's a filler right there. So, yay, Ricardo, you're our hero. I'm going to do it because it makes it easy. Hi, Diane. How are you? He's so good, isn't he? So let's get some glue on here just because glue's faster. And I'm going to kind of pop this behind my Santa. And then let's get our Christmas tree on here. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Hi, Janine. Oh, it's our first live. Thanks for joining us. I'm so glad you're here. I am going to even pop some more foam tape on my Christmas tree because foam tape is where it's at, right? So, thank you, Ricardo. Hi, Catherine. Oh my goodness. So many people here that I didn't even know. Oh, she's in North Carolina. Hi, Catherine. He does, doesn't he, Elizabeth Balmer? That Ricardo. And it's, you know what, you guys, he gets so stressed out. I stress him out because but here's the thing. I have to tell you, I tried to do this on my own yesterday, and I was so proud of myself. I said, I already got it all ready to go. And I did it far in advance so we could try it and make sure it was okay. And I was so very, very proud. And didn't do it right. But you know what? Lesson learned. He'll know how to tell me to do it right next time. Here's a spiller because it's going to spill out, but I'm not going to tuck that in until I put my Santa on here. And I'm definitely not going to ink my Santa because there's a lot of white on there, and I think it'll just look a little dirty to me if I do that. You can do what you want. If you want to look really grungy and kind of vintage, do that. But more foam. Now, I'm going to put double on this side and single on this side. Obviously, I've got more layers already here. So I'm going to put double here, maybe even triple, and single on the other side. So let's cut some more strips. I made my own, and I have to tell you, if you watched a Facebook Live a few weeks ago, I had created my own with a different peel and stick. This is actually the score sheets, and it's releasing much better than the peel and stick did. So just so you know, if you create your own foam using craft foam, if you create your own foam strips, I'll show you so that you know. Because you can learn from my mistakes. I have this double-sided peel and stick. Nothing wrong with it. But when I used it on craft foam to create my own foam tape, this doesn't want to release the backing very well. And it was a real hassle, and I don't have a lot of patience for it. Today, I created my own using the score tape 6x6 sheets, and it's releasing so much easier. It's perfect. So now I know if I create my own, I'll use the score sheets from now on. So here I've doubled it, and let's cut some strips. And just a little piece maybe for this side where the S is. See, this backing is releasing so much easier. And let's just put this right here on the S, and then I'll use a single strip for the other one. Smaller pieces. This is where you have to be patient in cutting the small pieces of foam or using foam strips, whatever you do that works for you. Sometimes this is like my least favorite thing, but I love the look of it, so I'm not going to scrimp on it because, you know, dimension and all. I'm going to add one little piece down here. So like I said, now we can do the giveaway the correct way. Leave a comment while I'm live. It will only count while I'm live. And then after we're finished, I will figure out how to use like the random generator on comments and select a winner for the giveaway. So who's actually crafting along with me, creating tags today? You might be doing something else. If you are, that's fine. Let us know. Okay, ready to go. Let's get a craft knife or a pokey tool and see if I can do this a little bit faster than using my fingernail. This is on air, the thing that's kind of a pain to do. There we go. Okay, we've got those on, and now let's layer this up. Like I said, I try to put the tag straight, and then I will center the Santa. And I do like to see a little bit of that gingham or that plaid paper down below. Tap that on, and now let's put in our spiller. And sometimes you need to cut the bottom, or you can trim it. It's okay. Don't freak out about trimming a bottom piece if you need to. It's just paper, right? And this, because it's just a spiller, I'm just going to glue. We're adding it to the background for interest. And I'm just going to glue it. And then you can kind of curl up the edges right there. Give it a little bit more interest, right? See that? And then I would add my, now let me find it because I've moved it to the side. Here we go. Let's add some pretty red enamel dots to, let me clean this up. All that foam tape backing we used. let's make our Christmas tree. Now, it would be pretty to use those pearls also, but I like these little enamel dots. And it helps to use like a little craft knife like this or a jewelry pick if you can get it to come up. But sometimes this helps getting it up and off this little acetate sheet. There we go. Oh, I have some green ones. Look, do you see these? I think those are pretty. We can add maybe a couple. I don't know that we can do a straight line again like I had done because of how I had it placed on the original, but we could put one here. Let's do a middle-sized one. We can even do that one right there. And then do a smaller one up here. There we go. That looks cute. And look at all of our layers. And don't forget, like, to kind of crimp this spiller. Do you see now what I'm saying? We have our thriller. And really the sentiment is kind of a thriller. Then we have the filler. And even the doily now, these backgrounds are our fillers. And then here's our spiller. And even the sentiment kind of becomes a spiller. And this tag, because it's spilling off the edge. And that, well, hi, Kita. Hi, Linda. Yes, the flower arranging tips. There we go. So look at all those lovely layers. Oh my gosh. Now, oh my gosh. Let's add in, that's what my sister always says, it cracks me up. Let's add some ribbon. Now I have to tell you, I need to up my ribbon game because some people, you see tags and they're gorgeous. They have all these ribbons flowing and then they wrap them around and it's fantastic. So I need to practice a little bit on that. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to come out just a little bit. Hi, Kathy Dodd. Let me find my little zoomy thing on my camera and we're going to come out just a little bit. Okay, have to show you some pretty, oh my gosh, this ribbon. I found this at Hobby Lobby and I'm a little bit obsessed with it. Look at these, it's very fine. So this would just be like to add something, but look, it's got little sequins on it. You could even ball this up. You know how some people will make a little wad of string and put it in the behind something to give it a little halo effect. This would be perfect. And they had it in silver and in gold. I think I found it near the crocheting stuff. It's not crocheting, but maybe you add it in. It was on an end cap when I found it. So I love this stuff. And it was $4.99. Of course, I think I got it 50% off. It's in the needle art section and it's called Yarn Bee, Bejeweled Sequin. So that's pretty. And then I always shop when they have all of the sales and everything. And let's see what kinds of ribbon I've got. I need to move. I have so much stuff going on, you guys. Let's move this out of the way because I do have a lot in the box here. I should have had these pulled out ahead of time, but I didn't. So we have red and we have some golds, and then I have this one. Just find whatever appeals to you. I even love, I'll show you these other ones. This is, look, it almost looks like a little chenille and it's sparkly. That would be pretty. I love the ones that have the little chenille balls on them. And then the pretty kind of extra little, maybe more lacy ribbon that's narrow. That looks really pretty. What size die tag did you start with? Kathy, I used the big one from the Alta News set that I talked about the other day. And I'll be using it again, so you'll see it there. It's like, what do we say, 2.5 inches wide. I'm not sure how long it is. I didn't pull any red out. Let me get some red. And I do like the narrow. There's more, there's wider, there's more narrow, there's the organza and the satin. And let's use these. I'm going to use these together. And sometimes it takes a while. Oh, we needed to add our grommet. I should have done that first. I totally forgot about that one. So let's cut the ribbon. I like to cut it at an angle. And I'll show you how I do grommet. So pull out like a darker grommet. Get your crocodile out. This is where you've got to get your muscles going. Let's add this in. And I don't even know, to be honest. I've never watched a video. I think I'm doing it right. Squeeze it hard. And there we go. And we've got our grommet on there. And see what a difference that makes? It just finishes it. And then get our ribbons. And here's something I like to do. You can do this a couple of different ways. If you need to tape them together, put a little bit of tape there, you can do that. Or try to manhandle it and just shove it through. Wrap it together. I double them up so I make a loop. And then I twist them together. And maybe you guys know how to do this easier. The grommet does make it a little bit easier because it's, you know, the paper tends to catch it, and then just pull it through. If you need to use your needle nose tweezers or something to pull it through, or the pokey end of the tweezers, do that. And then I trim it, and I like to trim them at an angle. And if you need to glue it, hot glue it, use a lighter to kind of curl the edges of your ribbon. In all honesty, I never do that because unless I'm really picky, maybe creating an album because you're afraid that it'll fray. Those are ways that you can seal the ends of your ribbon. So I do that. And then what looks really pretty is to tie something around it and tie a bow, or you can create a bow and hot glue it on. It depends on how picky you are. I like lots of frilly ribbons. I like the ones with the little loops on the edges. I didn't get any of that. I don't know why. And I just tie it right on the other one like this. Ta-da! And then kind of, you know, fussy with it. Sometimes I will tell you, I'll show you on the next tag, how I like to create a bow so it's absolutely perfect. If you're really being picky about how you add a bow to something, I'll show you how I do it. You know, some people will even tie it on their fingers, and I've seen them do that and loop it around. That looks cute too. I'm not that worried about it. I'm going to trim these. And ta-da! And we can fidget with that. I'm not going to fidget with it now. I would normally try to make it much prettier. Pull these little tails down, pop that up. Right now, I don't want to mess with it too much. And there we go. We've got our first tag done. What do you think? Do you like it? I know the extra bow, and I'm telling you, if you pull that hot glue gun out, if you make the perfect little bow and then pop that on there, it's perfect. I should have pulled mine out, but you know, too many things to do. So, any other questions right now? Do we have it? Got it. Oh, so Janine says she is going to use her stash, but right now it's kind of hard to follow along. And it is, because the good thing is you can just go back and replay it and follow along and do your own thing. I definitely like this one just a little bit better than my original because it's got even more layers on it in the foam tape. So there we go. Number one down. Now let's go ahead and we'll jump right into this one because I think it's so pretty. So pretty. Catherine or Diane, maybe he will. You never know. Okay, let's create this one. Now, I told you I'm using the Cocoa and Reno doily dies. Use whatever you've got. I'm obsessed with these. So, because they just make the perfect layering, pretty edges, everything. So this is all Cocoa and Reno doily layering dies. And this is the set I'm doing as a giveaway. Okay, so let's move our ribbons out of the way. And for this one, I think the journaling card, let's see if we already cut this out, and I've already cut out of my layering dice, the red and the white. So now let's see if we can cut him out. If not, we'll need a new sheet of paper and we'll see what we can do. So let's see which one he is. We've got, this is the big one. Let me see if I can find my, there they are. So I've cut the large red one. That's the large red doily. Then I've cut the next piece and I've cut that in white. Okay. Got those done. And then we need, there was that one. There was that one. And the next one is this one with hearts. So if you have this and you're following along, I do know they were sold out for a while. But these make great pieces also if you get that rosettes die set. So that's that one. Let's see if we can get that out of there. Yep, we can just get him out. And look, we can make him the focal point. Oh, Elizabeth said she already made this one. I know, he's cute, isn't he? So get this cut out. Okay, or here's a different way you could do it. Use a different color cardstock you've got. And then if you have the ephemera, there are several cardinals that you can use on there. He's going a different way, but, and there's even a bigger one. Look at this one. Ooh la la, we might have to use him. Look, how pretty would he look layered on there? So it's just up to you. There's just the black on the back and we could cut that out and then layer him up there. I think we might do that. Look at that. Look how pretty that'll be like that. I love it. Or if you're saving, you know, use him as your focal point. But I think decision time, we're going to switch that up and I'm going to use him because I haven't used him in anything else. Let's get him cut. Kathy, this is the large tag die that I originally used. It's the large one from the Alta set. Okay. Now I need to find my other plate for, what do I do with this? Here it is. I don't know if Ricardo's listening, but if he is, I would love another cup of coffee, please. We'll see if he's listening. Because I only had one this morning. Now, just kind of run your fingers around it and you want to pop out any extra pieces that didn't fall out, your nail or, you know, a pokey tool, whatever you've got. Okay. Look how cute that is. Now, I didn't try to get it centered, but I did anyway. You can use that one. I'm going to use this one. Now, remember what I said about the white edges? Now, it's a little bit hard because it's a, you know, it's a cut edge. So it's kind of difficult to get that inked, but I'm looking for a foam ink blender. There's a blue one. Coffee. Could I have a cup of coffee, please? That would be, you're the best. Thank you. So here's my black soot. And I'm just going to use this blue foam. It doesn't matter. And the little old foamy tools that we used before we have these wonderful blender brushes work great for scrapbooking, for inking the edges of things. And I just go around. And I don't know if you can see the difference. There's a white edge and there it's been inked. And it does make a difference in finishing it and making it look just a little bit professional. Okay. Make sure your fingers don't get any ink on them. And now we've got here's our original. We've got our red back. We've got our white layer. Now we have this layer. I'm not going to set it on top because it's still wet. And then we'll grab our other pieces. But let's get these layered up first. And I don't know if you noticed, but I just took my tag right through one of the holes on the doily die cut and it worked perfectly. So there you go. Oh, Elizabeth used the waffle flower, the cardinal die from our waffle flower class. That was fantastic. We love that class. Okay, let's get these layered up. Lots of foam. I'm actually going to use the other kind I created that doesn't release because it's a bigger piece, so it'll be fine. And you could use your circle die if you're picky and cut out a circle. And especially if it's going to be kind of manhandled a lot, then your white paper, you know, will keep it. If you use a bigger circle, definitely keep its shape a little bit better than if you use a smaller piece of foam. Make sure I have the back of it. I do. See what I'm saying about this other that I created, that it just doesn't want to release very well. There, that craft knife helps a lot. Oh, she said, Elizabeth said that was her favorite class. And she loves those cards so much. I know, it was some really pretty stuff, wasn't it? Now, I'm going to try not to pop my head in here, but I want to center this white one right in there. Okay. And now more foam tape on this one. And then we'll pop this in the middle. And then we will use, I'm going to use that ephemera cardinal because I like him. Pop this right in the middle. Look at these beautiful layered dies. I will think how pretty this would be on a card. I mean, to create a focal point on a card. Fantastic. Look, 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 look. Look at all of that beautiful dimension. Now, think of also this rosette. Look how pretty this would be. Oh my word, with these layered dies. I mean, seriously. I'm kind of obsessed with these. I can't wait. They make me giggle. I love them. Okay, let's look at this again. So we're going to pop our cardinal in here, and he may not be popped up. We'll see. Yeah, he will. Pop him up, and then we need the snowflake. Look, if you really look, here's what we've got. Here's our filler, is our snowflake, and a heart. And then we've got spillers. Here's some more greenery. Here's some greenery. These are our spillers, okay? And then our sentiment, which is part of our focal point, okay? So we've got him, and let's set these aside. Now we need, let's see, we're gonna need some greenery. And you can add, for your spillers, if you like lots and lots and lots of layers, I mean, go for it. Spill that up, right? Do what works for you. I love that. Okay. I'm looking for more of these berries, and I don't know why I don't have so many. I'm wondering if I had used them and I'm missing some pieces. That might be it. I might be missing some pieces. Let me see. I think I've got more somewhere. If not, we'll use what we've got, right? And we won't get all upset about it. Let's see. I think I may have used those, and so we're going to use what we've got. It's fun. That's the point in having all this extra ephemera. So this one's going to look a little bit different. And you know what? I even see now, I don't even see any snowflakes. So I must have used the packs when I sorted the other day. I must have sorted packs that I had already picked some things out of and didn't even realize it. So, but I'm going to send you guys the 2 new ones. I know those are new. So we're just going to use some other things. Now, here's what we could do, because I have these other snowflakes. We could cut some of these out. Let's do that so it looks similar to this one, since I don't have that. Those snowflakes are the Altenew layered snowflake die. Okay, so let's use these and let's cut out of the barnwood. Thank you, Ricardo. Here he comes with my coffee. Thank you. That's okay. It's in the dishwasher. Thank you so much. I need a sip of coffee. That's good. Thank you. So let's cut while we're doing it. Like, I'm the type, if I'm doing one, I might as well do them all and see, and then I have choices, right? So let's pull all these dies off and let's cut some while we're here. I'm going to use this. Now, if you get the 12 by 12 paper, look at that. Lovely. I love that. That's what I made the fishtail flags out of. But I don't want to cut into that right now. I'm going to use the browns. This is that other extra add-on collection. It's called Color Vibe from Simple Stories. And this is the wood looking, the barnwood looking stuff. So let's cut some snowflakes out. Now, I will tell you, this cardstock is not a heavy duty. It's not like 100 weight. It's definitely more like 65. So I don't want you to, you know, a lot of scrapbook papers are like that. They're not a real heavy duty cardstock. So be prepared if you order something like that, what it's going to be. Here we go. They all stuck. I kind of like it when it doesn't stick and I can just pop it out of the paper. I need some new plates for my die cutting machines. Mine are pretty warped. Okay. Got it. What do I want here? My Spellbinder's Pokey Tool. There's one. Look how pretty these are. They're actually so much more detailed than you think they're going to be. So be careful if you have these when you pull them out. This one's a little chunkier. I like that. I love how detailed these are. Ugh, be careful. I don't want to rip it. It's definitely sticking in there. There we go. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. With the wood grain. Ooh, I love it. Linda, I love that. Feels like we're in the same room. That makes me happy. I love that. Well, it's a good thing we're not, because sometimes the disaster that happens Or it might give you a good laugh, because sometimes I do something and I just shake my head. I'm sure you guys are the same way. Look, there's even a little middle thing that would be cute. You can layer that up if you wanted to. So let's put these away, because I'm not going to cut any more of those, I don't think. And I don't want to lose those. Because I don't know if you guys saw in the Pink Fresh class, like I lost my little tiny star die, and it just makes me sick, because I still haven't found it. I haven't looked, but it hasn't shown up. So I'm tired of losing these things, right? Especially the little favorite pieces that you use all the time. Jackie says she'd be borrowing. I share, as long as you put it back. And like, sometimes when you craft with friends, you get real nervous, because not that they purposefully take anything, but like, if you don't have your name on everything, like if you go to a retreat and you're sitting next to someone, you're like, I got to make sure I put my name on everything, right? Janine, you should see my office. It's like, crafter math. Okay, so here we've got our cardinal. There's our thriller. I like him better than the original paper, because he is just pretty. Now look what we can do. Look at these snowflakes. We can pop these up. Don't make it too big, because you don't, once again, this is a filler, not a thriller. We don't want it to take away too much. Look how pretty those snowflakes can be. We don't want them too big, taking away from our cardinal. So, not too big. I wouldn't use the biggest one. And we can pop him to the side there. That'll be perfect. I like that one. So we're going to make sure we pop these with our other ephemera in a little tray, and put our black ones in there too, because we can use those. Don't want to lose those. So there we've got a filler. Now we need some greenery. There's some good greenery. Or here it is. Is this one good? This one will be good. There's some more filler, kind of a spiller. And then we'll need this heart. See, I don't even have all the hearts, because I used them. Obviously, when I sorted ephemera the other day, I sorted stuff left over from something else. But there's a red heart. And you probably have lots of heart dies. Heart dies are perfect, and little star dies for adding lots of little details to things, little filler details, right? And then we're going to need, this is actually 2 different pieces of berries. And once again, I've used them, so we might have to cut them off of something else. Man, I wish I hadn't used those. And you have lots of berry stamps too, don't forget. So just use something else if you've got it. I'm looking to see what else we've got here. If you have berry stamps, that would be a fantastic thing to add. I'm worried that I'm using everything I'm going to need for other things, but it's okay. Let's see. Let's see. This is kind of big, and that's where it's kind of throwing me for a loop. We could use this white one, but then we aren't getting the berries in there that I really like. But we can add some berry, turn these red if we want. See how the red ones kind of came up and curled? That's what I really liked. And that's what I'm looking for. Darn it, I used all of mine. And I've already promised you ephemera. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm making an executive decision. Don't get upset with me. I'm going to use the ephemera in here because we just can't create exactly what I've made before. And I want to have it to show you. I will put something else in your giveaway. It's not going to be this. So I apologize because I need, and they'll probably be sold out everywhere if I try to buy it. Here's what we'll do. Here's your executive decision. You're going to love this. I'll show you at the end. I have the Pink Fresh Studio collection that I bought. we'll put some things in the giveaway from there. Okay, so that way I can use these because I need these. And obviously, let's see where, I think these are from here. I need these to recreate what we did here. And I want you to be able to have exactly the sample. Okay, so that's why I'm using these, but you'll like what I'm going to put in the giveaway instead. So don't be mad at me. I just want these to look exactly like our samples so nobody gets upset. Let's sort through these real quick. I think that's what happened. These are the new ones that I bought. And I'm sorting off camera, sorry. This is why we did this as homework. Because it's like watching paint dry, I know. But look, we have more options now. Yay. There we go. There's some of our spillers that we needed. And like I said, if you're making your own, I'm sure everybody's got greenery, and you can use stickles or some Nuvo drops or sequins, and there they are, and create your own red berries on things. There we go. Okay, let's move all this to the side, and then we'll dig through whatever else we might need. Put these to the side so I have them when I need them. We've got those beautiful flowers too. Okay. I'm going to sit those up there so we don't forget that some of them might be in there that we need, so they won't get mixed up with others, because I don't want to sort through them now. Okay, so we've got our spillers. And this one will go here, and we'll trim this one up. Now we've got all of our pieces. Yay! That stressed me out for a minute. Okay. You love the muffin tin tip. Listen, go to the dollar store. Go to the dollar store. Look for a muffin tin or a tartlet tin. Something that'll just keep all the little bits and pieces organized. Or, you can even get those craft or a tackle box or a crafting kind of sewing plastic thing that's maybe only 3 inches tall. Maybe it's, a foot long, a foot wide, and it's got dividers that you can section off yourself. That would be perfect. And then you just close the lid and put it away and keep it that way. That would be, if I went right now, that's what I would get. I wouldn't use a muffin tin, because then I could just close the lid and put it away and keep it that way and work on it for days. I love those scrapbooking plastic like tubs, boxes, because it keeps everything organized. I have one right back here. I don't know if you can see it. This is a big one. This is a scrapbooking one. Can you see it like in the frame? I will keep a collection. All my stuff normally stays in there, so that then I can go back and find it and keep working on projects. Okay, let's keep going with this. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to think, do I want to pop? I don't think I'm going to pop my cardinal up. Let's just glue him down and keep going, because we're already an hour and a half in. Too much confusion with everything. Pop him down, kind of put him kind of in the middle, because we're going to layer up here. So put him in the middle. He's pretty and he's bigger than the other one, so I like that. And then let's go ahead and we're going to pop these up on some foam. Now these have a hole in them, so what I'm looking at is, do I want to Yes, I'm going to just use this little doily, that piece that I've got, so that it has a brown backing. Going to layer them up, and I'm going to pop them on that way. So let's get these glued on this backing. I just don't want any white to show and look weird in the middle. So I'm gluing them on here, and it's already got foam on the back of it. So, you know, or you could have just used a little piece of the brown scrap paper, put it back behind, or use that little middle piece that we found after we die cut. And you could foam these and in between the layers. Pulling this whole thing up, because now it sticks to my table. Sometimes this is also why scrapbookers use their hot glue gun, because it makes everything quick and easy, building it up, and you don't have to wait for glue to dry, things like that. That works well. So pop this up right here. Now we're going to add in some of these spillers. Layer it up, do what you think looks nice. Sometimes it helps if you cut that little end off. I'm not going to right now because I don't think I need to. And then once it dries, curl up the edges again, okay? Now this one is going, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to first put my sentiment on. Yep, it's not there because I used it. Let's see which bag it's in. Look at the back. There, it's in this one, Peace on Earth. There's Joy to the World. You could use that one, but see, it's not, I mean, you could. It's going to hang down further, and that would be okay. Do what works for you. There it is. Peace on Earth. So now we'll set these to the left in case I need to dig into these some more. No wonder I had those brand new sets that hadn't been used. I was saving them for this class. All right. Let's pop this up on, we're going to double this one. Right here. I'm only going to use a quick piece of foam because I'm trying to hurry. And it is nice if you leave a little bit of space at the top and the bottom, because when you fill in with your spillers or fillers, you've got room to tuck things underneath. You don't have to do as much cutting. Okay, let's layer this right in the middle. We want him centered under our cardinal, kind of in the center of everything. I put him on crooked. Let's fix that. Let me look at it and do it. It'll be easier this way. there, and kind of twist him if you need to. Okay, it's looking lopsided. Now, here's why it's looking lopsided to me right now, because we don't have this side balance. So it's feeling very heavy, and I'm thinking it doesn't look centered. It will when we add these on. So let's get these on and stop stressing about that. Let's trim this off. And this is kind of going to tuck around like this. But first, and I'm going to bend this one just a little bit with my fingernails before I even glue him down. Once again, it gives it a little bit of dimension. There, I'm going to tuck him in right there. And he's going to get some foam. And I'll probably just put it like right here. And it needs to be doubled also. Little strip. And then I can keep him curled and kind of put him exactly where I want. That pulled the tape right off. That's why you have to burnish it. Let me look where I'm going here. I want it like right here. And tuck that in. Let's see, we want him off to the side as a spiller, right? And we're kind of mimicking this greenery. We're going to make it about even. There. Look how nice that looks. Popped up. Now this one is going down below, underneath. See why I put that on first? So we can really decide where we want this one. This one needs to be trimmed off just a little bit. And let's glue him. We're going underneath. We're going to need to pick this up a little bit. There we go. See how I picked that up? And we're just layering and pulling him kind of right there. And then we've got this other little piece that we cut off, and we're going to use that. Don't throw that away. More filler, right? Filler's good. And we're going to pop that one kind of right back there. See that? You need that. So don't throw those little bits away that maybe you cut off. Now we need to let that dry a little bit. It's going to take a second to adhere right there. And then when it dries, you're going to curl that one too. Curl this greenery. Curl it up, kind of curl it over. You can do these snowflakes, kind of pull these little, we layered these, kind of pull those up for interest. Like that. So there's that. And now let's add our little heart in there. I had a little heart. Let's see if I can find him now. I probably moved him around and can't find him. There's one. Okay, and that's just a filler, so we're just going to glue him down, make it easy. You could add foam by all means if you want. I'm just tucking him back here. Just a little something else, right? Now, let's go ahead and add some of our little enamel dots. The pearls would be pretty on this one if you wanted to make it a little, you know, look a little bit fancier. Oopsies. These enamel dots are not, you know, jewels are easy because you can use your jewel picker and it just sticks to it and you can maneuver them around. And sometimes the enamel dots are not as easy. And let's, you know what? Let's put one. Like right there in the middle of our snowflake. There we go. Hi, Octavia. Thanks for joining us. Look at that, you guys. I love this one. Look at all of those layers. Can you see them all? I mean, how pretty would that be hanging on a Christmas tree? Seriously. Okay, let's add, I'll go ahead and add some ribbon on this one. One more. This one, even the bow did not, it kind of like came, kind of doesn't look as good. So let's see what we've got. We've got the gold over there. You could do green, you could do white, you can do whatever your heart desires on this one. Let's do some white and red since we use so much white and red. By the way, did you know this? I think it's called organza. Did you know that organza ribbon, if you heat it with a heat tool, it will curl and make the most beautiful bows you've ever seen? Oh my word, you just don't want to melt it too much. But what it's doing is literally melting it just a little and it kind of curls into itself. So pretty. Something else you can do, of course, is the seam tape, like the Tim Holtz seam tape, or just regular seam tape, and color it with your dye inks. Okay, let's try to get this in the middle. We'll try to get it right through here. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to tweeze it, pinch it with my tweezers and see if we can get it through that way, but this one might be a little difficult. Okay. Elizabeth had black and white gingham ribbon. That would be cute. Shove that through there. Oh, I broke my doily. Did I? No, I didn't. Did I? I did. I tore my doily. Darn it. Okay. You would want to glue that back together, let it dry, and then be very careful and don't manhandle it as much as I did. So I'm going to put a dab of glue. This is where also, if you're using a glue gun, it would make it sturdier. And glue this together. I'm not going to finish this one right now because I want that to glue together. You could also use one of these other holes, okay? But we're going to glue, I'm going to glue this to put it back together. No one will ever even know. And then maybe I would just hot glue the ribbon on this one because it's so dainty and we don't have a grommet to hold it. So we'll finish this one later, okay? Or finish it off camera. But you can see this one, I did get that one kind of manhandled through, okay? So there's that one. Yay, we love it. I love those. Like, those might be my favorite ones. Okay, next one. Are we ready? Do you guys want to do another one? We'll do another one. Okay. Let's see what we've got. We've got, and I have to tell you, was it Elizabeth who talked about wanting a muffin tin? I have to tell you, now that I'm doing it, I think one of those boxes or even a regular muffin pan would be better because look how it all wants to get all messed up, like as I dig for stuff. One of those boxes is a much better idea because you'll be able to create bigger compartments. I'm actually going to make my husband go to Joann's with me today or Hobby Lobby and get one. You'll have bigger compartments and everything will sit down in there nicely and not get all messed up like this, because I'm kind of getting irritated with it. So we've got these two left. Okay, let's do this one because I want to show you how the fishtail flags look so nice on a tag. So we need a red background. You can use paper. Let's talk about something before I get sidetracked. I want to talk about how I decide whether I'm doing a mini album. I'm not a scrapbooker, but I love mini albums, photo folio, things like that. When I'm creating with pattern papers, let's talk about what my thinking is. And I will tell you, I mean, a lot of people, if you're a scrapbooker, you already know this. I learned this from Kathy Orda now, from Paper Phenomenon. She makes the most fantastic mini albums ever created on this earth. And she talked about this one time and it really stuck with me. So you've got, normally you have, especially if you're using 12 by 12 paper, you have a paper that might have much bigger designs on it, right? Like that. A big focal point, a large image. I know we have another one back here, like this. You might have a big image. So those are good to use because you have your primary focal, your thriller image, right? And then you have pattern paper that will have many times smaller or a medium-sized image, like this one. This is more busy, okay? This can easily detract your eye from your thriller, from your focal point. So you have to be very careful about where you use this. If you're using a focal point, that might be too distracting. So you have your large image, you'll have medium images. Let's see if I can find another medium image. Like that might be a medium image, but because of the colors, it might not be as distracting. This one, there's a lot going on that, right? Medium size images. Then you might have smaller, less distracting images. For instance, that's kind of just a pattern paper. That is not going to normally just pull your eye away from a focal point. Okay, and if you ink the edges, even less, right? That one, that's a good background paper, not going to pull your eye away, things like that. Like that one's not as bad. That's what I call a smaller image paper. Then you have this one, like we talked about, or you have your geometric kind of papers. You have plaids, you have stripes. Let me see. There's another one that's pretty smaller image. I know there's stripes in here. There's your plaids. Those are a good background kind of, and then you have stripes. So sometimes, and look at that one, I will mix, you want like maybe one geometric and then one smaller or medium and then one large. And that's how sometimes you layer them together. And it gives you an idea of the thought process. One stripe or plaid with a small to a medium kind of image and then a large focal. And that's my thinking when I'm normally picking papers. And then of course the colors go that way too. You need your colors to work together when you're layering those. And sometimes it's good to be monochromatic and sometimes you want the different colors. So I hope that helps a little bit too in thinking on how we put this together. I want a red background, and then we need to cut. This is the black check. Let's cut that. I need a tag out of that. I've already got the red tag cut. Let's cut the black. This is that large die from the Altenew set. And because Kathy asked earlier, this die, and I tell you, I like a large die. And it's hard to find really like as big as I would like 5 inches would be fantastic. This one is 4.5. So it's pretty long, 4.5 by about 2.5. Okay. So this is a good size. I like the good size one. On the back is just this cardinal paper. I'm not too worried about how I cut it. I do try to conserve as much paper, so I put it right on the edge, of course. Okay, so we've got our red background tag. We have this one. All this is doing is layering. And because this paper is what, like 80-pound weight, it gives it a little bit of sturdiness to your tag also when you layer them up. It's just a lot more interesting too. So we've got that. And then we need a couple of those fishtails that I have already cut. And we need to find them. See, all my little papers are falling out of my tray. So as much as I liked this in the beginning, it's not as perfect as I wanted. So I need to find my fishtail. Don't know where I put those. Give me, oh, there they are, right here under here. Okay. They're with all the other tags. So I cut several different sizes. And you can use whatever size you want. And these big ones are even pretty. Look how pretty that would be to layer over. Look, you can look how it's the perfect size to layer over. And then I would just trim the edges over top of a tag. That would be so pretty. I love that. Or you could even punch a hole in it and look how pretty. So really kind of start thinking outside the box on what looks good in your layers and how to layer tags up. So you could use that big one. We're going to look for, I'm going to keep it somewhat the same, like a medium to the smaller. So I want like this one and even maybe this one. And we're going to layer those up on there. See how pretty that'll be? Look, you layer these up and you can either put them together and offset them to the side, or you can layer them straight up and down. But I love to use fishtails when I'm kind of creating the layers on tags and cards and stuff. I love fishtails. So you'll just layer those up and you'll just trim it right off the edge of the tag when you're ready, okay? So we're going to do those, and then we need this tag piece. This is from the ephemera. And now that I know, I bet it's in here. Let's see where that one is. Oh, you know what? I think I probably cut that right out of paper, but we might have a tag that we like that we could even use on here. Go through your tags. Don't forget those because those are cute. I did. I think I cut that one out of paper. So let's find that paper. My watch is nagging at me to get up. You know what? That might be one of the cards that we cut also. There it is. Remember we cut the journaling cards out? I like to use those a lot. So that's what that was. So there's our journaling card. And I cut that out of a tag die. This is a scalloped one. I think it may have been a Gina K one because it's rounded. I'm just going to use one of the Altenew ones that we've got already. And this one could even be a fishtail flag one. That would be cute like that, especially layering with the other fishtail flag. So let's do that. It'll be a little bit different than our original one, but that's okay. So we want to make sure we get the Mary on there. So make sure, doesn't have to be even, but we want to make sure we get that on there. So I'm going to kind of look to see where it is and kind of get this straight up and down so I know it's even and I can kind of peek in. And let's get that die cut. that's so cute. Look, I love that one. Look how cute that is. Ooh, so think about, you know, how you can cut those focal images out of the paper and use just as its own little pretty background on your tags, okay? So now we've got that one, and look how pretty that'll be with our other fishtails. And we can even like put it like that. I love to see lots of layers kind of swinging off of each other, kind of gives it movement. And what if you created a tag just like that? We don't have to put Santa on it, right? I almost think it's really pretty on its own like that. So let's, first of all, let me think. Let's take this off and let's layer these fishtail up. And I'm just going to, trying to think what I want to do. You could add foam to them, but I'm not going to for the sake of being quick today. You can add foam, it's up to you. Foam tape. Do what you want to do. And I'm just mainly putting glue on the bottom because I'm going to trim the top off in a second. I'm going to take this almost to the bottom. Okay. Get it straight before your glue dries. Now I'm going to add the other one over top. Let's look to see where this is going. I'm going to move it off to the side for a little more interest. Not too much, kind of right here. Space it up just a little bit, okay? And kind of off the edge of the first one. Okay. Now let's trim off the excess around the other tag. Trim the corners. And now we need to hole punch that using our crocodile because we covered up the original hole. Okay. There we go. Now let's layer our other tag on here. Before we do, let's ink it up. We'll go ahead and ink up this one. We'll use our black soot. See the white edge? Now you can see the white edge. Ink that and voila. So much better. Okay, that one. Can you see the white edge on that one? I'm not sure if you can. And like I said, you can ink as much as you like. If you want to take more ink into the paper, you can do that. If you want to use vintage photo and give it more of a vintagey look, that's fine. Now look how pretty this is. I'm kind of digging this even without Santa. It's so pretty on its own, right? Here's the original. I added the Santa. I gotta tell you, I kind of like this one. Just simple the way it is. And no foam because we're going to put our grommet right through here. And look, it'll swing. And then you can do your sentiment and everything on here. And I don't know if we're adding Santa to this one because I'm like loving it the way it is. No foam on it, right? I'm going to add a little bit of foam for this, maybe the heart. No, because here's the thing. The heart, maybe we can put someplace else. We just don't want this to hit it. I might not add the foam on the heart even because we don't want it to swing and hit that and knock it off. I'm going to use green, something different. If you want to add foam to yours, add foam to yours. I don't want it to swing and hit. Look at it straight. And then I'm going to add some enamel dots. We'll add those after we get it all together. Let's get our grommets on here. For this one, I'm using a red one. Janine likes it better without the Santa too. Me too, Janine. I like this one. See, it gets better the more you do it, right? Now, this is where I have to tell you those little sentiment, little swing ones look cute too if you add those on there. You don't have to, but they look cute. You add those little die cuts on and maybe stamp a little sentiment. And I'll show you, we might add a little sentiment on here. We'll see. So there's that. So you see how it swings on the grommet? That's why we love grommet. And let me see if I can show you with these. Maybe we want to add one of these. I'm not sure. We'll see. Because we've got these. Sometimes these look cute. We've got Mary on there. We could even add something on there. Not Oh Christmas Tree. Magical Moment. Let's add that on there. I like that. That's cute. And sometimes you could even add two just for interest. Like that if you wanted. But I like Magical Moment. And this one we can pop up a little bit because it's not going to hit when it swings. I put it right down at the bottom. And you know why I did that? Because I wanted to see the little flags. I don't know if I like it right there. I think I'm moving it up now that I'm looking at it. And the flags are okay because they're just our filler, right? Just a filler. So don't get stressed out about changing up your fillers. That's fine. Okay. Just do whatever you like on that one. What works for you. How cute is that one? Oops, my red came off when we put our ribbons on because the grommet wasn't quite big enough. That was a bigger hole that die cut out. If you're cutting your own hole with your crocodile, it won't be so big. It'll be the perfect size and your grommet won't come out of it. But when we add our ribbon, it'll be fine. Let's go ahead and add some enamel dots. I'm going to add a medium-sized one. Maybe right here, and a small one. And then maybe one over here. Like that. That looks cute. And let's add some ribbon. I'm looking. I did red and white on that one. Let's pull these through. Kind of twist them up. Use your tweezers, that might help. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't. These little narrower ribbons are almost more difficult to work with because it's harder to pinch them. If we go this way, trim this off. I don't know where my little scissors are. I don't know if I can do this left-handed. I don't think I can. Sometimes doing the ribbons are like the bane of my existence, right? Where did my little scissors go? They're right here. I'm going to trim off. I have a little piece that's longer. And you can always, if I weren't so stubborn right now, wrap a little piece of tape around it, right? To help it get through there. Let's see if this works. Darn it. Now we're going to get aggressive and we're just going to shove it all through. There we go. Yay. See? Ah, you guys, like seriously, this ribbon. Shove this through now. Because I like to take them through and then loop it. There we go. Sometimes you got to let it know who's boss, right? Now pull these. I pull these with my fingers, pull this through. There we go. And then I take this back through this to give it this little loopy. What is going on? Here we go. Oh, I totally messed up the red. I don't even care because we're going to tie that. And okay, do you want to see me make, here's what we'll do while we're on here, because I think this will be the last one because we're already at 11:05. We've been on 2 hours. That's crazy. Look, I'll show you how, and it's been a while, so bear with me. Here we go. Kathy Dodd, if you have the chipboard frames, and I know you do, those are kind of for pictures. You could make ooh, I'll pull those out, Kathy, and we'll talk about that. Because other people might want to know what I'm talking about. That'll be a good one. We won't make the last tag. You guys know you have all my tips and tricks now. I love to tear paper also, by the way. So wrap several layers around your fingers like this, okay? Several layers of your organza ribbon. It has to be this kind of sheer organza ribbon, okay? Tie that off. Now you're going to pinch it in the middle. Hold it tight, pinch it. Grab another piece of ribbon. Bear with me, it's been a while since I've done this. And you're going to tie it in the middle. Okay, kind of hold it with your one hand. Poke it through. Use some roll, right? Use what you've got. And get it off my finger. Okay, tie that middle. Tie that in the middle tight. Get it right in the middle. Okay. Got it? Tie it tight. Tie another knot here. Okay. So there we've got those little loops. Let's add one more piece. It's been a while since I made one of these and I love them. So I'm glad I remembered to share it with you. If you've never done one of these, wait until you see it. It's magical. Okay, tie this one. So we've got 2 on each side. Okay, there. Got it? Okay, watch this. Now you need to separate all these. Kind of pull them apart. Okay, so you've got all these pretty layers in your bow. I hope this works after all this buildup. It's been so long since I made one. So pull them all apart. Okay. Got it? Now we're going to pinch this with our tweezers because you don't want to burn your fingers. You're going to use your embossing heat gun. Okay. Got it? Get it all going. We get it. Really heat it up. Okay. And then you're going to go in and out and in and out. You don't want to burn it, right? And once you see it start to wrinkle, you're going to pull it away. Why is my heat gun not? There we go. Okay, ready? Here we go. Can you see it curling? See it? As it starts to heat, it curls. And you have to be very gentle. As soon as you see it start to curl, pull it away till you get as much or as little as you want. Let's go on the back. And then let's curl these little ones. I might have to sit it down just a little bit to get it. It's going to chase. There we go. Can you see it? I don't want to burn myself. That's why I'm like being careful. I don't know if you guys can see that as it's curling. There we go. Look how pretty. See it? Because what it's actually doing is starting to melt it. You curl the ends if I could get it to stay still. And let's melt this just a little bit more, and then we'll pull them apart. Okay. So then pull them apart again. And if you need to go back in and crinkle it some more, heat it some more. But look how pretty. Look at that pretty little ribbon you have. Now, this is a lot for a tag, especially for this little dainty tag. But look how pretty that would be on a package or a bigger tag if you have a great big one, or you're doing lots and lots and lots of pretty layers, like with if you use the flowers, let's say from Prima, and then hot glue it on. Hot glue is the very best, or tie it, you can tie it tight. But look how pretty that wavy little ribbon is. Isn't that pretty? Don't you love it? Aren't they so pretty? I think those are just beautiful. Okay, real quick, let me show you one thing. This is what Kathy was asking about. She has the chipboard frames that go with the Simple Stories collection. They are part of really more of the scrapbooking collection part of it. So let me show you these. These would be really pretty if you're creating like a family kind of maybe album, or you want to create ornaments for the tree with pictures. So this is the chipboard frames, and I will tell you a lot of places still have these in stock. Chipboard frames, because I think a lot of people don't know how to use them. So they are definitely very thick, like chipboard cardboard. And look, see how they're open? Perfect for pictures. Guess what else they're perfect for? Shakers Wouldn't that be so cute to create your own ornaments on a tree? See, here's a double one using these chipboard frames. So look at this one. How pretty is that? Look. You would, if I were creating a shaker, if I were putting a picture behind it, I would put my tape, put your acetate, then double, triple foam it, put your picture, and then put in your shaker, right? And put the backing on it. And you could punch a hole with your crocodile. I would add in lots more ephemera, right? Really zhuzh this up. If you've got paper flowers, whatever you've got, really zhuzh this up. Put splatters so it looks like snow. That's something else we didn't do that I think looks really pretty. Splatter gold, splatter white, add sparkles. You can add glitter, add embossing powder, add sequins, add all kinds of sparkly things or whatever you like. Really fill this up. I would build this up with flowers and the fillers and spillers and all that. Add another Santa, make it even more interesting. Add your picture, add shaker. Wouldn't that be cute? And then it creates an ornament for your Christmas tree, right? Jackie, you're so funny. Shaker, shaker, shaker. We might have to do this because that's like a good idea for the Nashville Craft Retreat. Jackie will have to be there and Elizabeth Bomber next summer so they can do it with us if we do that. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Create some shakers that way using chipboard frames from Simple Stories. So all kinds of ideas, you guys. I am sorry we didn't get to the fourth one because there was just so much going on. I am going to pull from your comments. Let's pull all these pretty tags out that we made. This one is the one we didn't add the bow to, but it's even better than the original, right? Because of all the layers and things. This one is even better than the original because I like it that it's all swingy, right? And then here is the new one of this one. And then the one we didn't get to is It's Okay because it wasn't exactly my favorite of all of them either. Let's find it. It was more vintagey looking. I have such a disaster going on my table. It's no wonder we can't find anything. I don't even know where that one went. How could I lose it? It was all right here. But let me show you some other tags that I've made this season. It's going to drive me nuts that I can't find him. Wait a minute. Here he is. Here it is. Here it is. This one I did use that pretty sparkly ribbon. Look, isn't that gorgeous? I love that. Here's what I did on this one. Use these little clippy looking things that were like in the ephemera. I layered that Hello Santa up. I fussy cut this out of the paper. Now I would layer up another Santa. And that's where I used also one of those little banners. Use 1 or 2 or 3, lots of spillers here. You just fill this up as much as you want. I did ink this with Vintage Photo and I layered it with the grommet. So that was one we didn't get to. Here's some others that I created that are shaker tags. This uses Pixie Dust Designs, the brand new die set from them that looks like an ornament. Comes with all these pieces. Aren't these cute? So cute. I love these. And then those are her stamps also. I think that's from a stamp set called Holly Jolly. And another die set that says For You. That's from Pixie Dust Designs. And these are shakers. How cute. And then I created these tags for Colorado Crafts recent release. See those little tags from Altenew, those little swing ones? Love those. And I stamped the sentiments on those. Lots of layers on these. So all kinds of options. You have lots of tags. Now we've got too much going on here. It's going to drive me nuts to end that way. Okay. So you guys, thank you so very, very much for joining me. I hope you learned some things. If you've got questions, you can always add them in. I will be choosing from the people. We are now ending at, let me see, it's 11:17 Central Time, 12:17 Eastern Time. Comments are now cut off. And from the comments that we've had this morning during our live, I will be doing the random generator and selecting a winner for the Nashville Craft Retreat water tumbler. If you weren't in attendance this summer, this would be someone new. The Coco and Reno nested doily dies. And then I'm going to add something else in from another scrapbook collection or something that you'll love, I'm sure. So that is, since I had to use the other ephemera, I apologize. We'll add something else in. So thank you so much. You guys have happy holidays, and don't stress out about your crafting. Do what you can. If you don't have time, don't worry about it. It's okay to buy something store-bought too, if that's what you need, or just fold a piece of paper and put a tag on it, to and from, and that's all you need to do. Okay? I will talk to you later. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining in. Bye-bye.